Check, 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 check. 1, 2, 1, 2. Vader Games in the building. You know what it is. You know what it is. We got another episode of CIA, Intelligent Agendas. We got episode 24. And you know what I do every episode? First things first, my peoples come first. And my peoples, those of you with me, those of you no longer, always remembered and loved. Now, CIA is back. And I'm back for a second week because, as you can see from walking through in on the intro, I'm healing up. I'm back. I'm back getting into the fitness, and I can comfortably sit down for an hour plus, and the knee is nice and calm. Now, I sent out. Sorry, 1 second. I sent out the link inside the group chats. Oh, that wasn't supposed to happen. Inside the group chats, there may be some panel members to join, but what I like to do every week, and let me actually reposition myself here. What I like to do every week on CIA is just do a little bit of a review. Let's do a review and let's do a little bit of a preview. And a lot went down this past week. Oh, you know what? Actually, alma mater, Syracuse in the building. I'm repping. No, this is not San Diego or anything like that. It's SU. You know. So listen, Syracuse is being repped right now. Now, I gotta talk about this past week, and a lot's been discussed, a lot's been speculated on, a lot's been broken down, and obviously we had the Manchester derby that went down. If you're new to the channel, hit that like button. What's new? What's going to be a little bit of a plus? Just so those of you that tune in and those of you that kind of follow and maybe listen on a replay, I've added this right here. You see the next? So just so I stay on point, just so you tuning in or watching, you know that everything's nice and clean. I've got the counter. Now, we're going to focus on, we should be focusing on the top big six, right? Top six, big six. Chelsea are way out of that. United, are United even in the top six? Are they in the top six? Let me see real quick. They are. They're just there. They're just there. And you know what? I should be putting this on screen as well because this is kind of like, this is what I try to break down as we go through the standings. But it's going to be a review preview. And I want to spend the majority of the time focusing on, obviously, Arsenal, Manchester City, and Liverpool because it's a 3-horse title race. But as you can see from, the thumbnail, we got to talk about Liverpool. Minimum 8 minutes was given to them. And we got to talk about the Manchester derby. And my star boy, Phil Foden, with the brace, with the goal to tie it, with the goal to give us the lead. Impactful, key player. And we're going to speak to his development. But that's good. We're going to do that later in the show. First things first. What I do every week too, because I got to show the love to those that were in the comments, and you know what I mean, who was first this week with regards to being in the comments and showing the support. And I got to put Football Power Hour this week. Well. So what you have to say? Let's see where you're going with this. What can I say? I hit the like button. Shout out, respect, appreciate you hitting that like button. Laugh out loud, but you lot got away with one yesterday. I got away with one yesterday. City got away with one yesterday. City, you must be speaking of another club. Football Power Hour, you have to be speaking of another club. I got away with one. I don't know how you break that down. Now, let me make sure I got my screens right because I'm going to have to put this on screen later on in the show. Let's go left window. Okay, is that right? No, it's not that. Where is it? Bear with me. Why isn't it showing up? Forgive me. Should have been done already. All right, we're going to do this. We're going to do this. Oh, wow, that's way too... Okay. Let me adjust this a little bit. Power hour with... Let me see what you got, what you're saying here. Because I got to have the standings up. And the standings really... Top 10 is really where it should be. Yeah, that's... All right, we'll do it at that. We'll do that. All right. Wait till we get better players, bro, and maybe a better manager. Okay. All right. You've had, quote unquote, lesser managers. You've had, quote unquote, better players. And the results kind of been the same. Listen, it's been a long run. It's been a long run that City have been able to do this to United, man. And you know what? Shout out to Professor Hamza, because I didn't even realize this. But normally, whenever there's a derby, right, you see a lot of Sir Alex Ferguson photos or imagery, or he's on the screen, things like that. I didn't see him once. I didn't see him once on the broadcast. Hopefully it has nothing to do with regards to health. But could he be at a point where he's like, I need to stop torturing myself. I need to stop going to these games. These games, they're not right for me. I need to stop going. All right. But let me do this. You see the next. I'm going to make sure that that's available. I'm going to also put this on screen so that we can keep it nice and clean. So this is going to go. What the? Okay. Boom. And we're going to do this. All right. So match week, however you want to look at it, 2024. The standings as you see it right now, and it's actually difficult to see, but for the sake of space, I'm going to leave it like this. Liverpool still top of the league. You got to actually scroll down. Outside of the top 10 is Chelsea at 11th. I'm not even going to spend. See, you know how I got the breakdown here. I should be spending 5 minutes with a breakdown on each team, things of that nature. I'm not even going to do that. I'm not even going to do that. And the reason why is because Chelsea are 11th. I'm not going to go into this whole hype them up. That Liverpool win against them should have been anything talked about. Listen, Chelsea have been bummy. They've been trash. They've been complete garbage. Hot garbage in the summertime. All right? I'm not going to spend any time speaking on them. Fan base aren't happy with the players. Fan base aren't happy with the manager. Fan base aren't happy with the ownership. What is there for me to talk about with Chelsea? We'll move on. We'll move on from Chelsea because they're bums. They're bums. Let me go to the comments real quick. My man Zane in the building. Big up, yo. Big up, Zane. Big up. This week. Zane, what are you saying? What are you saying this week, man? Actually, you know what? Before we even talk about this week, Zane, let's talk about your win over Forest. Speak on your win over Forest. I need to hear it. And we got Football Power Hour. Yeah, nah, Chelsea are in the mud. They're in the mud like slop. There's no point in talking about them. So let me do this nice and clean. Vader. All right. So next up, we got Wolves. We even really speak on Wolves. Actually, let me take this overlay off as well because we'll get back into it. Wolves. Do we talk about Wolves? I mean, they've been playing spoiler for a lot of games, and I think their quality is showing in terms of they're not going anywhere. They're going to be mid-table. If you don't prepare properly, they're going to cause problems for you. And if they don't get poached too much at the end of this season, I think they're going to be an important club to focus on next year. Brighton seem to have fallen kind of like in a limbo. They're kind of forgotten. You know, they're getting results here, but then they're getting poor results. Is it a combination of not just focusing on the league that's impacting them? But won't spend much time on them. Newcastle are at 40 points. 12 wins, 4 draws, 11 losses. Those aren't good results for them. And the fact that they're 40 points at this point in the season does not bode well. Obviously, injury-ridden, injury-plagued. I don't think that's a true reflection of the quality that they have or of the manager. There are a lot of whispers to get Eddie Howe out. I don't really think that it's right based off of the players that have been available. But when you have new ownership like they do, maybe there's an expectation from the fan base to do even better. Zane, De Zerbi is an overhyped manager. I don't know if he's overhyped. Let's be honest. Let's be real. Like, a lot of quality players have left his club. He still have them playing good ball, but I think they're still not a powerhouse yet. If he were to get like support like a big club, I don't think that would hurt him. I don't think that would hurt him at all. But as we were talking about Newcastle, they're just doing their thing. They're just plugging away. Newcastle are going to play an important game against us in the FA Cup. So I got to be careful how I talk about them. As of now, I got to be careful. Now, West Ham only 42, 2 points more than Newcastle, 2 points less than United. I like it. I like that battle. I like that battle with regards to West Ham. And you know what? The drama with Moyes and all that kind of stuff, you know, I like it. And especially what City were able to do against United, to see them have to get into this type of, you know, try and survive, can't really get into the top 5, would be nice. I mean, that's a little bit of my hate for United. Listen, and in the comments, I'm out here in North America. All right. My alma mater, Syracuse, it's an American university. Yes, we call it soccer. All right. And don't get all snooty and bougie and all, I don't know, all, what is it? What's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, snooty. Don't get all snooty about it, because y'all have Soccer AM. Like, you actually have a broadcast that uses the word soccer, and we didn't invent it. It came from you guys. So relax. All right. Yes, but we call it soccer. Syracuse soccer, Syracuse football team, North American European football. Yeah, it's being played. Don't hate. Power Hour goes on to say, the hate for United is real. I love it. It is. I believe that for the balance of football, in the life cycle of football, both United teams can't be great. Like, if you think about the time of when United were doing their thing, City weren't equal to them. And I think for City to be doing our thing right now, United can't be equal. So it's just the natural flow. It's just the natural flow of football life. All right. But let it continue on. Zane, David Moyes finishing ahead of United, the same manager who I think had one of the worst seasons in their history. LOL. Life comes around fast. Zane, I'm on the same page as that. I don't know if you can hear some of the meltdowns from the fan base. Of course you do, actually, tuning into some of their channels. Yeah, it's great to see. It's great to see. Okay, my time's up. So let me actually focus on what United have next in terms of a proper review and preview. All right, so let's do that. And let me do this clean as well. Vader game. So we got United. They played 27 games, 14 wins, 2 draws, 11 losses. The thing that really stands out and which is hilarious is -2 goal differential. That's disgusting. That's so gross. That is so gross. And you know what? In particular, if we're going to do a review, we're going to do a preview. Let's preview what United have next, because we're obviously going to talk about what they just did or just had. So after playing Manchester City, United now have to play Everton on Saturday. That's an early game. That's an early kickoff. For me out here in Toronto, that's a 7 a.m. game. I will not be waking up to watch that, believe it. But they play that game. They're postponed Sheffield. And then the following later on that week, or the next week on Sunday, they play Liverpool in the FA Cup. I'm happy with that draw. I'm extremely happy with that draw. Listen, United, you wanted to play spoiler to City last year, and Ilkay Gundogan had to erase that in 12 seconds. But you can play spoiler for Liverpool. Klopp's farewell, final tour, last dance, last lap. United, you can have an impact on that. Let's see what Ten Hag does at home versus Liverpool, and we'll talk about the derby. We'll talk about the derby. But that's enough on United. You know what I mean, that's enough. Let me see what's happening in the comments. Let me see, where did I miss off? Football Power Hour. The day we get you back, bro, I will be dancing. We will be there. Listen, there's time. But let City have the run right now. What is it? It's only been 10 years for you guys. Look, Arsenal have had 20 years, Liverpool have 30. You know what I mean? You guys had the banner reminding City like 30 plus years of not winning a major trophy. It's your turn. Football Power Hour, just chill. This is building character. It's building character. You can then talk about, listen, you've been a United fan through the highs and the lows, and you will get back there, but just a little longer. Just a little longer. Let's say not as long as Arsenal, 20 years. So 15. Let's say 15 for United, 20 for Arsenal, and it was 30 for Liverpool. I think that works. Am I being too harsh on that one? We will squash Liverpool. Don't worry. I'm gonna hold you to it. 2 weeks from now, you better be here, and we're gonna talk about you smashing Liverpool. All right, let me do this. Vader game. All right. So, Spurs. And if you don't know, I'm on American Waffle with Staffy and Staffy TV. He's a United fan. Football Power Hour. I'm sure you know about him. But I'm going to be on that show later on tonight. It's going to be a great combo. But on that show, there's also Jacob, Spurs fan. I already know that show is going to be unbearable, because when Jacob wins, he can't stop talking. Even though his game was so minor. Let's click on it. His game was so minor. He's going to carry on and on and on and on and on and on and on about a win over Crystal Palace. And Crystal Palace haven't been world beaters. So, you know what? Hopefully I can suggest this type of timer, because Staffy has a timer for in the cell. But hopefully there's a speaking timer on the winning rep. And Jacob's got 5 minutes just to get out all his waffle with regards to Spurs. But they got a win, 3-1 over Crystal Palace, a comeback similar to what City had to do to United. But they got the 3-1. Their next game is Aston Villa. And listen, let me, as I rub my hands together, I love London Turf Wars. I love the London Turf Wars. So the fact that it's going to be Aston Villa and Spurs, and let's go in the standings. Let's look. So 5 points separate them. So this game is hugely important for both clubs, right? Because Aston Villa get to increase that gap by an additional 3 points, and or Spurs can claw back into it. All right. So Spurs have 15 wins. Oh, they have a game in hand. They have 15 wins, 5 draws, and 6 losses. Their goal differential 16. Not bad. Not bad. They've got 50 points. Aston Villa got 55 points. This is a huge game. This is a huge game. We're gonna have to talk more about this. I got to make sure I craft good questions to give Jacob, because I know he's probably going to want to talk more about the win versus Crystal Palace instead of giving predictions. But I'm gonna make sure that he commits. And he actually commits on what he expects of his club versus Aston Villa. All right. Yeah, the short and sweet. Let's stop that now. Next. Vader game. Aston Villa. They played 27 games, 17 wins, 4 draws, 6 losses, goal differential 22. Not bad. Aston Villa's been playing spoiler to a lot. They've been inconsistent. Everyone wanted to say Unai Emery's lost it because of the poor form, but let's look. Other than the one loss in the last 5 games, they've been pretty steady. And like we said, their next game is going to be against Spurs. Their previous game was a 3-2 win over Luton. Luton's a tough place to go. Luton is a tough place to go and to get a result. Trust me, I know this, right? So they got that 3-2 win over Luton. Aston Villa ain't going anywhere. Do they, and again, I like my London Turf Wars. Do they put pressure on Arsenal? I'm going to sneeze. Do they put pressure on Arsenal? If Arsenal drop points, it's going to be something exciting to watch. But Aston Villa, Unai Emery, the quality of managers in the Prem right now is very nice. It's not getting talked about a lot. And I know next season is going to have the exit of Klopp, but when you really think about it, there's a good series of quality managers in the Prem. You see Arteta, he's gaining that experience, obviously first managerial job, and he's done well. Pep speaks for himself. Eric Ten Hag, he's got his discreditors, but again, good manager. Talked about Moyes, talked about Angs. Listen, Zarbi, Poch. There's maybe they're good managers based off of name recognition, but I think you can't dismiss Aston Villa. Unai Emery, he's good. He's good. As much as Arsenal fans want to discredit him, he's good. Now, let me do this. Vader game. I gotta start the clock on this because I don't want to spend much time. Arsenal. They play Sheffield United. It's an expected win. And you know what? I'm not only going to need 5 minutes on Arsenal, but it's an expected win. Let's be real. Sheffield, I would expect their goal differential to maybe increase by another 2, 3, maybe even 4 goals, the way they've been scoring. The way Arsenal move with no pressure on them, it's night and day. Look at how they play. Look at how calm their fan base are. Look at what the narratives are when there's absolutely no expectations on them and they can just go on and play ball. So I think they get another win. So that'll take them to 61 points, 1 point behind City. And they play Brentford before City and Liverpool play. So Arsenal could be mathematically top of the league before Liverpool and City play. But let's look at that. They've got 18 wins, 4 draws, 4 losses, goal differential of 39. They're a game behind, so they should have a higher goal differential than Liverpool because they're both tied at 39. And I think they get this win against Sheffield and they move. Really simple. Really simple. I'm not even going to tune in and watch the game. I know it's later today. I am not tuning in. I'm just gonna be expecting the result. Simple. If you guys think differently, if you think this might be a slip up for Arsenal, let me know in the comments. Also, I think what's going to be the most interesting thing with regards to Arsenal, if what I'm seeing, on the timeline is accurate, is the return of a Partey, the return of a Timber. What Zinchenko? How dangerous would Arsenal be fully strength? I like that City don't play them until after the international break, so we can put this tough series of fixtures behind us. Because again, Arsenal they're literally playing Champions League and the league, so they don't have as many fixtures. They don't have that fixture congestion the way City do. So playing them after the international break would be nice. Maybe we get everybody healthy and it's going to be a full battle at the Etihad. All right, let me do this. Stop that. Vader game. Okay, let's reset. We got to talk about this. And I'm going to speak of City last. I'm going to speak of Liverpool now. And let me put the overlay back up. Minimum 8 minutes. Minimum 8 minutes. I can't help but look at the game through City eyes. When there's extra time, that whistle seems to get blown right at 8 minutes. 8 minutes of extra. Whistle's blown. Game's over. Is it me? Tinfoil hat? Conspiracy? Am I looking at it wrong? But Liverpool get 9 minutes. Seems like Liverpool get that time to get the goal. I'm not running with any agendas of going off of observations, of going off of what I saw. I also happened to learn and see that the referee made a critical game costing, 1 point costing error in how he stopped play with concerns of a head injury. And despite Nottingham Forest having the ball at the time of stoppage, he literally handed the ball to the Liverpool Klilnical keeper. It wasn't even remotely close to where the stoppage of play took place. It was given to the keeper inside the 18-yard box. And the rest is history, because from there, long kick puts Nottingham Forest under pressure, and that's what resulted in the late winner from Nunez. Listen, from McAllister to Nunez, the goal, I'm not taking anything away from that. All that is quality. But that opportunity that happened was an error of the referee. Was it an error? Now, I'm not going to say that the refs plotted to do this for Liverpool, but it's an error that cost Nottingham Forest. Liverpool have been relentless. Their fan base reminds you every day. They do it almost like if, you know how you're supposed to brush your teeth at least twice a day. Liverpool reminded us of that Spurs non-call or poor call costing them a goal, disallowed goal. They remind us like it's brushing your teeth. They remind us twice a day. Twice a day, this would have been the case. Liverpool fans, if you're going to kill me in the comments post-watch, let's no longer talk about the Tottenham game. Tottenham, you rightfully so should have gotten 3 points, as you see it. You shouldn't have gotten the 3 points. You shouldn't have been rewarded this opportunity against Nottingham Forest. So let's please accept what you got, move past it. Okay. I will not bring it up again. I will not bring this up again after the minute 30, minute 29, minute 28. After this clock goes, I will not bring it up again unless you Liverpool fans bring it up. I won't unless you Liverpool fans bring it up. But you got the win. Most important. I think the league are extremely happy with that result because it has you 1 point ahead of City. And now we go into this game at Anfield with a must win game. It's a game for this three-horse title race that has to take place. It has to go down, and I think the league are absolutely loving it. I had a conversation, I think, was it early in the year? It might have been in the offseason, but it was with a group of United fans, a group of Liverpool fans, and they tried to convince me that the league would love if it was just Liverpool and United fighting it out. If year after year after year it was Liverpool and United fighting it out, the league would say, sign me up. That's best for the league. We run it. We print money. The fan base grows. And I was like, guys, stop. Let's be real. Why in this one instance is competition, or why is multiple options, variation, how is that not a benefit? Why wouldn't having a competitive league that would involve Liverpool, United, Arsenal, City, Chelsea, Spurs, like why wouldn't that be more appealing? They tried to say, look, legacy, heritage, if it was just these two clubs, that's what the fan bases are all for. No. You grow sports because, and I've seen it. I saw all the hype that was happening around the Raptors, and the Raptors were new to winning a league with regards to NBA as I speak about it. But the fandom was ridiculous. That's just another influx of fans, and again, buying, spending, attending. This three-horse race, and I'm gonna be honest with you. Elders, speak to me. I'm gonna listen. But if this goes down to the wire and it's three teams that are all like vying for position, and obviously they each have to kind of play each other at the latter stage of the season, this has got to be the most exciting title race. It's got to be the most exciting title race also because it's got a manager that's going to be exiting, that's going to be leaving. So there's no get back. There's no disappointed, but I'm going to get you next season. That's not happening. One manager is gonzo. It has to happen this year. So I think this is, and we'll get into it as because we still got a lot of games. We still got a lot of games to speak on. A lot of weeks to go. But I really do believe that this three-horse title race is the most exciting one. It is 100%. Let me see what's happening in the comments. Marvin in the building, what it do? He goes, I was so confused why City was attacking United so high up. United can't put intricate passes together and score, LOL. If you played neutral, would have won 2-0, 3. And this is Marvin. This is what I'm saying. I kind of get what Pep was doing in terms of having that much commitment, because I think at the end of the day, he still thought that the defense could control things and could sniff out the threats. But obviously, if we had played a little more conservative, not commit as much, even with our defensive line, or even with how we committed with Ake being so far up, and at times and I stress every time I see Walker overlap or really get past whoever's on that right wing, because I'm worried about whoever's accompanying him on that right wing won't realize the threat and drop back. But we can obviously control games, create less opportunities if we don't commit, players like Ake and Walker forward. But I agree with you. Like there was no attacking threat. There was no will build will build through you approach from United. And as congested as they were defending, because you saw Casemiro, Rashford, McTominay, Bruno, Garnacho, all of them were just like really cluttered, making, if anything was going to happen, it was going to be on the wing. So they really tried to suffocate the middle of the pitch. But even when they won possession, they weren't even trying to play with each other. It was kind of like they just scattered like roaches. Like they get the ball and Rashford just starts sprinting up. Garnacho and even Bruno. Bruno was trying to be that one to kind of run out of that midfield and get some balls over top. But the result that we were able to get, and we're going to speak on it right now, was absolutely amazing. Let me do this. Keep it clean.
Vader game.
All right. Let's do this. Manchester City. The Manchester Derby. Gotta speak on it. We gotta speak on it. I'm gonna be real with you. I was nervous going in because it's a derby. Yeah, you that are with me in the group chats, you try to say, Vader, stop playing it down, stop being fake modest. It has nothing to do with that. I know how United have ruined really nice seasons before, whether it's Ole, Mourinho, getting results that I'm like, this shouldn't happen. And Ten Hag, listen, I'm not gassing. Ten Hag set up United, I think, in the best way possible to really make life difficult for City. If he set up in a way where it's like, you know what? He was content to leave there with a draw. And leaving there with the draw against Manchester City, European and English champions, isn't a bad thing. I don't know how you slam the manager for trying to get that type of result. As much as you might be Erik Ten Hag out, to want to get a draw at the Etihad against that kind of makes sense. Now, one would say that their plan for the first half was flawless. Couple chances, one of the big chances, amazing goal by Rashford. Can't take anything away from that. And Rashford, do another interview. Rashford, do another interview before that Liverpool game when you guys play them in the FA Cup. I need that because the man played with quality. Apparently, he wasn't able to sustain that type of effort the entire game. I think he wasn't fully fit. But that screamer was absolutely disgusting. If you want to talk about pinpoint accuracy, where he placed that was sick. And I was worried. But please, and if you're not following me on Twitter X, by halftime I said, because Haaland and Foden missed must-scoring opportunities. Those were gimmies. They both missed them. And I said, second half, I'm going to get to the comments. I said, second half, Haaland and Foden will score the goals that they owed us in the first half, at least. You know what? I got people that are following me are very rude because that was a prolific tweet. And I didn't like the engagement I got on that, even after the fact. Like, that should have gotten a lot more likes, a lot more retweets. Because listen, I'm back in the team, and my analysis was so accurate. Yeah, I'm patting myself on the back. Which wrestler used to do that? Was that Mr. Perfect? All right, let me not get sidetracked. But I said we were going to get those goals back. Let's just be calm because how we were attacking United made absolute sense. Onana had a very good game. Can't hate him on that. Varane had a very good game. I can't hate on that. But what we're creating in terms of opportunities that's what you need to remain calm on. And if you're going to be a little stressed, you're going to want to make sure that Haaland, Foden, KDB, Silva, Doku, they finish their chances, right? We want to make sure that our players finish their chances, but we're creating them. And when a team was so defensive, United were so defensive, to be able to create those chances. Final stat, I think we had 27 shots, and United only had 26% possession. It's one of those things where we're in control the entire time. Let me go to the comments. Staffy in the building. Staffy he's calling a sick day. No, there's no sick day, Staffy. American Waffle is going down. It's going down. You are not out on a sick day. I expect you to be there, the host with the most for American Waffle. I'm cutting this my show right now is probably going to go for another 5-10 minutes, not too long, because I want to rest my voice. I want to make sure that my voice is nice, healthy, and strong, so that I can deal with those frauds, those wafflers over at American Waffle later on tonight. I read somewhere that warm lemon water and honey is very good. See, Staffy's in the building. He goes, lemon and honey tea. There you go. It's good. Good for the vocal cords. But yeah, the cooking tonight is going to be so deserving. And I think there's something special because I also noticed a character change. We saw kind of like a character arc. You got to tune in. And see which version of Staffy we see tonight. But shout out to him. I believe his channel is in the description, and if not, please make sure you look up Staffy TV. Look up Staffy TV on YouTube and drop a like. This guy is a joker. Bottom red Staffy is back. That just sounds like a Ayo. That sounds like a massive Ayo, but I'm gonna leave that for another time. That's all I'm saying, Staffy. I'm gonna leave that for another time. What a performance from Foden yesterday, Vader. Listen, we're gonna talk on it. Let me get my clock back. Let me get my clock back here, because Foden deserves his 5 minutes. Okay, and let me do this nice and clean as well.
Vader game.
Now, Foden, if you saw the thumbnail, shout out to Foden. Don't let any hater talk on him anymore. Don't let any rival, any hater of Foden talk anymore. You took your shots, you missed. There's a reason why he has so much respect from pundits, from Pep, the best manager in the world. Foden has been a player through our academy. When other clubs want to talk about the kids, they want to talk about their academies, the youth. Foden was that guy. Foden was the one that Pep put his arm around and said, "You're not going on loan. You're staying here. You have great potential. I want you to learn under David Silva, Yaya Toure, KDB, Ilkay Gundogan. You're staying here." When Pep made that choice and say, "Foden, now you're staying here. I want to make sure that your influence is of the best," speaks volumes. And this is not a kid that was sent out on loan. This is a kid that's now a young man, 23 years old. And look what he's doing in a derby. He's been showing up in derbies, by the way. The number of goals that he's scoring, and you know what? On another show, I think with other City panel members, we'll really get into it and really crunch those numbers. But I think that was his 100th start for City. And he did it in a derby, got that goal. And it wasn't like a game's already in control, goal doesn't matter. He had to get that equalizer. And it wasn't an easy one to get either. But he went and got that equalizer. And he was threatening all game long. He was creating, he was putting pressure on United. But he gets the equalizer and he's relentless, tracking back as well, prevented some threatening opportunities. He was all on it. United fans in the mud, and they deserve to be. Staffy's my guy. Flawless, my guy. Love's there. Person to person, it's there. But as a fan, take that. Listen, we have a chance to do something that United haven't even been able to do. Can't take it lightly. This 4-peat, it's with the largest gray cloud over us possible. No one within the league wants us to win it. The league themselves, they hit us with this 115. We're pursuing something that's damn near impossible. And we're close to it. United are in the mud. Drinking United Tears. They're so. Listen, I'm not drinking any United Tears because the salt isn't good for my voice, and I want to make sure my voice is good for American Waffle later on tonight. So I'm not having anything salty. Hamza cooked Staffy last night. You know what? I don't think I caught the beginning of it, but I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it. You know what? Professor's been ready for this one for a while. And the derbies is when you need to unleash. Foden probably deserves a statue in a few seasons if he continues like this. Football Power Hour, you know what? I got to agree with you. The way Foden's been playing and the longevity that he's showing and the high quality of football, he hasn't mastered it yet. But if he continues playing like this, like the impact that David Silva's had at our club, the impact that Kun Aguero's had at our club, the impact that a Vincent Kompany and even greats with Summerby and Colin Bell, the fact that he's going to be here from the beginning and in our Prem era, he's been so important, so key. I said this before. Pep did not hesitate. To sub on Foden when KDB had to come off the pitch injured in the Champions League against Inter. Foden. And I know it doesn't show up in the GA. You bums. It doesn't show up in the GA. But Foden played masterfully. So let the rivals speak on it. I'm not reacting anymore. And these comparisons, and I'm not going to say who, but these comparisons to other players, like, listen, let your players get to that level first. Let them do something at the level consistently, not a one-off, not maybe if they do something in Europa or Champions League. No, consistency. Then you come off mute and speak about my star boy. All right. Now, City fans, I'm speaking to you before I wrap up this show. And I'm surprised I've been able to speak this long. I really do want to rest my voice. But let me do this.
Vader game.
We got to speak about this week. The United game, done and dusted. I'll continue to talk about that. I'll be on American Waffle tonight. Tomorrow, I'm going to be on Mandem with Flawless. So he's a United fan, obviously a City fan. We're going to speak on a lot of things, not just United and City. But Wednesday we play Copenhagen. All right, we play Copenhagen on Wednesday. Liverpool play, I don't know who they play. They're in Europa. I don't pay attention to that. Liverpool play Europa on Thursday. Then we face each other on Sunday. Big game. I don't have to tell you guys that. You guys know. Big game. Title decider. Okay? It's a title decider on Sunday. And we're going to do a proper breakdown. Or proper preview, I should say. But Liverpool getting that late winner versus Forest makes this game that much more important because obviously they didn't drop points. We're 1 point off of Liverpool, so we win. We then go 2 points ahead. It doesn't get any easier for the remainder of the season, but we got to win the games that are in front of us. I'm going to spend this 3 minutes and 30 seconds talking about Copenhagen player rotation. I think Pep needs to play this smart. We saw players that got rested was Nunes, Kovacic, Akanji. I think we see them in the Copenhagen game. And we might see Kova and Akanji again in the Liverpool game. We might see that. I think what I've been noticing from Klopp's standpoint is injuries or not, there's certain players that he kind of keeps as in case of emergency, or you know what? He's played the game where he used to just tire out teams, right? When we want to talk about peak Liverpool, when it was their captain Jordan Henderson, Wijnaldum, when they had Firmino, Mane, Salah, like when they had that squad, they were just relentless. Trent, Robertson, relentless. I think now he's like, you know what? The opposing team is going to tire out naturally. but I'm going to bring on quality to then continue that type of relentless fight and pursuit, but bringing on fresh legs. I think he's cracked the code with regards to Nunes. Nunes isn't a full 90-minute player, but if you bring him on to be impactful against tired legs, he can do a trick. So we'll do a proper preview, but I know that it's going to be a fight, and it's going to be a who between Pep and Klopp, who manages which players and brings on the changes at certain points in the game. I think the players that are actually going to make the most impact for Liverpool aren't going to be their starters. That's really how I see it. And then for how Pep's going to have to manage things, I think it's going to be, can we continue to have that advantage in the midfield? And it's going to depend on how we manage this rotation, how we manage this game in the Champions League Copenhagen. So let's handle business first. Copenhagen. Let's pay attention to the 11. Let's control the leg. Let's get 2-1, 2-0. Dust that off. Rest up, heal up, get ready for a long fight against Liverpool, and know that Klopp is going to be subbing on players in the 70-plus minute fresh legs to try to run through us. I saw him do that when he brought in Gravenberch, and everybody on Liverpool's side want to talk about, oh, did you see Gravenberch run past Rodri? Well, Rodri was playing from the very beginning of the game. Gravenberch just got subbed on and fresh legs, and that's why he ran past Rodri. But it's going to be one of those games. I think it's going to be an absolutely brilliant game to watch tactically. But I want to thank each person that was in the comments, each person that dropped a like. And if you haven't hit a like yet, please hit that like. It's how this channel, humbly, I'm trying to grow to get to 500 subs. I'm not even at 1K subs yet. But if you can humbly drop that like button, if you're in group chats, share it. Say, listen, like the content that my man Vader's putting out there, jump on the link, hit that like button, subscribe. Please do that. I'm going to continue to refine things. Added the timer, so I spent the right amount of time per team. I'm going to continue to refine it. In terms of my additional screens, I'm going to work on that as well because I want to have a nice flow. I'm going to add some transition graphics as well. I think I'm going to show some love to the rivals and maybe their club badges. We'll do something. But CIA intelligent agendas. Telling agendas. We're not going to be lazy with it. Episode 24. Manchester City Starboy. We had to talk about Foden. Man had a brace. It was so impactful. Holland scored another goal. So calm. Holland, you still owe us, man. You still owe us. You should have had 2 goals that day. Foden, you should have had a hat trick. United aren't the United that they were under Fergie, but no one's going to be that forever. Imagine if every fan base, I don't want to go off on a tangent just when I'm trying to wrap up the show, but imagine if every fan base said, this isn't my club, I'm accustomed to, and it was during their best, winningest times of their fandom. Everybody would be complaining. Not everyone can be number one, right? Conversation for another time. Liverpool late winner, credit to the refs. They'll never say it, but an error allowed them to win that game. Like I said, I'm no longer talking about I will not respond with this given favor or advantage from the referee if Liverpool fans don't talk about the Spurs disallowed goal. All right. But love as always. And I will be back with an episode of Why Always Me, most likely on Wednesday. Yes, you heard it here. I'm gonna timestamp it. I'm gonna timestamp this episode so you know when I was hitting certain topics, when I was covering certain teams. But next show will be Why Always Me. Don't miss out on that one. We're gonna have a lot to break down. I'm Vader Games. This is Vader Games TV. Much love. Match play week 27. And I'll catch you on the next episode. I'm out.